before we cap off the driving portion here, again, 4,500, well, we're a little bit above 4,500 feet elevation now. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're gonna be going over the 5 things that I love about the new Ram 1500 Limited. And since I have this truck for the next little bit, I decided that we're gonna do some more videos on it because a lot of you guys are kind of looking for more information on the new Ram. So here's our video about the 5 things that I love about the Ram 1500 Limited. So the first thing that I love about the Ram 1500 Limited has to do with the exterior styling. And if you guys are wondering about the washer, don't worry about it. That's just our prop for the video, let's say. But anyways, exterior styling is the first thing. Now, when I say I love the styling, I love the look of it, but I also love the uniqueness. So first thing is the headlights here on the Limited. I love the fact that you get unique headlights here for the Limited. Yes, the TRX has the same headlights and the Longhorn, but most of Ram's lineup doesn't have these headlights. If you get a Rebel, a Laramie, a Bighorn, a Tradesman, you're not going to get these headlights. So I love that kind of like unique factor you get with the headlights, and then a unique front grille. I think it looks really good as well, just as like a luxury vehicle. This one has the body painted bumper group, which I think is another nice little touch. I think that looks really good. I love Ram's new bumper in general. I just think it looks like really kind of like sleek here on the front end, but that's not unique to the Limited. So yeah, it looks good, but it's not unique to the truck. And then the tow hooks on the Limited, I think they look really nice. They have this like nice kind of like elegant chrome look to them. But yeah, just how everything's integrated the front end on the Limited, I think it's just a really good looking truck. And then the other thing I like stylistic wise is the fender flare, but again, that's not unique to the Limited. You get that on the Laramie as well. However, these wheels, this has the 22-inch wheels. I think this is another nice little touch. I think in the front and the rear, they just look really nice here on the truck from an exterior perspective. And then you get like the little Limited chrome strip that goes all the way down here. I think that's another nice little touch here at the Limited. Now the back of the truck doesn't necessarily look unique compared to any other Ram, other than the fact that on the other side there, well, we got to kind of like scoot back here. You guys can see you've got like the Limited badge back here. But I mean, it's still a really good looking truck. I feel like the proportions on the truck are really nice, and I don't know if I can even get the whole truck in the camera view here. But yeah, I feel like it's a good proportion truck. This one does have the 5'7" bed. But yeah, that's kind of like the first thing that I love about the Limited is the exterior styling on the truck. So like the fact that it just looks good, but then it also has like a bunch of unique elements that differentiate this from the rest of Ram's lineup. Now, the second thing that I love about the Ram Limited is the fact that it comes with a ton of standard equipment from the factory. You guys are probably wondering why I'm showing you guys the key. And well, first off, I should show this in the other segment because you do get a unique key that says Limited on the back, which is pretty cool. But first off, standard equipment, there's a lot of stuff that comes with the truck. So the Limited comes standard with remote start, it comes standard with air suspension, and the drop-down tailgate. Now, sadly, I would need to pull the truck a little bit forward, so I can't do this like right away to show you guys the drop-down tailgate, but it has an automatic tailgate. If I did it, then we would hit into the fence, and that would not be good for today's video. But yeah, the fact that it comes with all of that as standard equipment, I think is pretty cool, and that's one of the ways to kind of tell us as a Limited truck right away is it'll just have all these little buttons here on the key fob. Now, the other stuff that it comes with as standard equipment that's really cool is keyless entry. So you guys can see, put your hand on the door handle and then it'll unlock. And then power side steps as well are also standard equipment with the Limited. And then you've got the full LED lights here on the exterior that are standard equipment with the Limited. You guys already saw the headlights earlier. Those are standard. And then obviously you get the nicest interior here with the Limited, again, as standard. So you get the nicest leather seats, you get the really nice leather dash, all of the wood trim here, you know, the really nice door panel, all that kind of stuff is standard. Now you do have to add stuff like the Harman Kardon sound system and all that, and I'll get into that in just a little bit. That's actually another thing I love about this truck is how easy it is to add options, which I know that sounds weird, but anyways, like you get a bunch of stuff just as like standard equipment with this truck, which is awesome. And I mean, we actually have the window sticker right here, and this kind of shows you just like how much everything, so like you guys can see here, standard equipment with the Limited. You can see how big that tab is for standard equipment, and then you guys can see the optional equipment on this particular truck. Like, yes, there is some optional stuff, but like we've got a $56,000 base price, and then we've got a $68,000 total price here on the Limited. But yeah, I mean, most of the stuff is standard equipment, which I think is awesome. And I'll go over some of the options and like the stuff that I like about the Limited with the option perspective. But yeah, that's definitely like a huge plus, is just everything that you get with this truck. You get this super nice luxury interior. Like if you got a $56,000 Limited with no options added, it would still be a really nice truck. Like you'd still get all this nice leather, and you'd still just get this like beautiful interior truck. You'd still get these nice floor mats and the boxes, And, well, not necessarily all the stuff under the seat, but, I mean, most of the stuff you guys see here on the truck, including the bed liner as well, like, all of that is standard. So, yeah, that's the second thing I love about the truck. Now, the third thing that I love about the Limited has to do with the interior of the truck, and I'm sure you guys were kind of waiting for this. So as you can see, we are here in the driver's seat of the Limited, and I just love this interior here on the Limited. The steering wheel is beautiful. You have really nice leather and wood trim all over the steering wheel. Just material-wise feels really nice. And even the plastic stuff here on the truck, they've just like done the buttons in such a way that when you press them, I mean, it's plastic, but it doesn't feel bad. And I love the feeling of the turn signal on the Limited as well. And again, I know that, again, it's plastic and it's not necessarily the nicest piece in the interior, but just the actuation on it feels really nice. Like, if you have a chance, get into any new Ram 1500 and you'll understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, just look at the door panel. Beautiful, like really soft touch leather here at the top of the door panel. In the middle part, you've got the wood trim here. You've got the nice embroidery here. You've got the stitching in leather down below. And notice like how much of the door panel has leather on it. A lot of truck manufacturers will have like a little strip right here, and that's it, but not in the Limited. Tons of nice materials. And then I love how the speakers look with the Harman Kardon sound system. Definitely a nice touch. And then the dash as well. Yeah, you've got a little bit of plastic here at the edges, but like most of the dash here is leather or wood trim. Like, it looks really nice. And I mean, when you go and like touch the dash, the leather feels really nice to the touch. You've got beautiful stitching all around. And then like everything, you've got the wood trim here, more leather down here, like just so much. And then yes, the 12-inch display is absolutely beautiful. It's another thing I love in the interior. Like, just having this in my life now with the TRX, I didn't think I would really care about it, but like, it's cool. And every time someone gets in my truck, this is the first thing they look at. They go, holy crap, that's like a huge tablet, and they just think it looks like the coolest thing ever. And then like the center console too, like even nice materials here on the center console. And then inside, like it's all felt and all that kind of stuff. But even right here, they've got the nice like leather and stitching. Even on the outside of the glove box, like the glove box usually isn't a nice thing, but like here in the Limited, it's of course lined with felt, but like you've got the wood trim and the Limited logo on it. And then obviously the seats are just fantastic. I already kind of mentioned this, but yeah, full leather seats. They're really nice. They've got like the custom embroidery on them. And even the back seats, like a lot of car manufacturers will cheap out on the back seats, but not here in the Ram Limited. In the Ram Limited, the back seats are just as nice, and the back door panels are just as nice as well. Like, if you're a front passenger or a back passenger, you get just as nice of a place to rest your arm and look at. So yeah, the interior on the Limited, I definitely think is a high point, and it's something that I love about the truck. The fourth thing that I love about the Ram 1500 Limited has to do with a couple things. It's kind of like the power, performance, capability, all that kind of stuff. So like, it's a few things that I had to put into one category because I'm running out of points. So under the hood of the Limiteds now, they pretty much all have the 5.7 Hemi with the e-torque system. So your fuel economy is 17 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque, and it's all through an 8-speed automatic transmission. But yeah, just like as an under the hood setup for a truck, I think it's awesome. I love how they have the engine shifted really far back for weight distribution, which helps out a lot. But yeah, just from like a power perspective, the Limited is just rock solid. And if you guys are wondering, this truck does have the 392 gears. So the towing capacity on this truck is over 11,000 pounds. I mean, the capability on that's just ridiculous. And speaking of capability, this is a fully loaded luxury truck, and it still has a payload capacity of about 1,300 pounds. So like, chilling here in the bed, you could have 1,300 pounds worth of stuff in the truck. And then coming down below, we already went over the towing capacity. It's just over 11,000 pounds because this has 392 gears. But we also have to talk about the sound of the truck. My camera doesn't want to focus on the key. But anyways, there we go. It sounds amazing. Like, you just can't beat a naturally aspirated V8. It's impossible. Now, the fifth and final point about the things that I love about the Limited has to do with how this truck drives. Now, some of the points from the fourth point are going to bleed into this because I'm going to talk about the sound and the acceleration and all that. But yeah, just overall as a truck, it's so nice. And let's get into the driving. We are now setting off over here in the Limited, and I just wanted to talk about this as like a truck from a driving experience. And obviously this is the fifth thing that I love about the truck. So first off, the Limited comes standard with air suspension. Again, another cool thing, this has all the standard equipment. And because it comes standard with air suspension, it also comes standard with a really smooth ride quality. Like, the truck just doesn't really get upset by a lot. The air suspension's really good on road. Again, you guys know how I kind of feel about it on the off-road, but on road, the air suspension is just fantastic. It makes the truck drive really smooth. And on top of that, because it adjusts the ride height on the truck, you get exceptional handling with the Limited. So like when you're on the highway, it'll actually lower the truck to help you get better fuel economy. But pro tip, you can actually do that whenever you want. So I can press the air suspension button right there. I can lower it down into the aero mode when I'm on any road that I want. And when you're in the aero mode, the truck actually handles slightly better, and it makes sense, right? The truck's lower to the ground, lower center of gravity, so you're gonna get better handling. And that's something that I really like about the Limited, is that you have that adjustability so that you can have better handling. And I tried to pick this road. It's not the fastest road, but I mean, hopefully it at least kind of shows you guys like the truck's just so easy to drive. It's so smooth as well. And the other nice thing is this 5.7 Hemi is really good from a torque standpoint, and so it's more than enough power to get you up and going. And I feel like I drive the Limited way different than how I drive my TRX. So like my TRX, I'm just like full throttle all the time, whereas this, I like and feel more laid back with the truck. Like, I feel no need to floor it or anything like that. Like, I just want to like cruise along and just like gently drive the truck. Like it gives me kind of like a different feel. It definitely feels like a luxury vehicle. Yes, this is a pickup truck that tows 11,000 pounds. Yes, it has a 1,300 pound payload capacity. It's got 400 horsepower. It's got a big naturally aspirated V8, but it still feels like a luxury car. It's smooth. The interior is super nice. And so yeah, just from like a driving perspective, the Limited just gives you this like Limited feel, right? It actually feels like it's something special, and I really like that. I would say that this truck, like, if I could relate this to anything, then the Limited Ram is kind of like the Rolls-Royce or like the Mercedes-Benz E-Class or whatever of trucks. It's really smooth. It's got a beautiful interior. It's got an amazing just driving experience. The cabin's really well insulated. Like, it feels like a luxury car. It really does. And I picked this last road up here because I'm hoping to get us an acceleration before the video ends. So I'll see you guys in just a second. Well, before we cap off the driving portion here, again, 4,500, well, we're a little bit above 4,500 feet elevation now. You guys can see, I mean, the acceleration's so, like, the gear shifts are so smooth, the acceleration's perfect. Like, no, it's not crazy fast like the Ram TRX, and I can definitely, like, feel, like, a huge difference in power. But like I said earlier, I don't feel like I drive this the same as I drive the TRX. Again, when I'm in the TRX, I just want to, like, punch it all the time, and, like, I like, it's just, like, feel, like, that feels like a race truck. It's absolutely crazy. Whereas here in the Limited, I just want to like slowly cruise along. So I noticed that like at stoplights and all this kind of stuff, in the TRX where I would just be like full throttle having fun with the truck, this I'm just kind of like, I just like kind of like lay back. I just like gently accelerate, and I don't really care about what anyone else is doing. It definitely, again, it gives you that luxury car experience. Now, that is going to sum things up for our video on the 5 things that I love about the Ram 1500 Limited. And I mean, obviously there's a ton about this truck to love. Like, there's more than 5 things, and that's why I had to like squish some categories and like add some extra things, because there's just so much about the truck that's absolutely awesome. I mean, seriously, if you're looking for like a luxury truck, this thing is just absolutely amazing. And I'm glad that I'm able to live with it for the next few days while my truck's getting fixed, because like it's a really cool experience to be able to have a truck that I've reviewed so many times but I've never actually lived with, and obviously not have to spend $70,000 to buy it. Definitely cool. But if you're stopping for the first time, please subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video.